Just a quick review on 1 point perspective. 1 point perspective means there's a vanishing point somewhere out on the horizon, just like a Eagles song. I'm way out on the horizon. I think that was Eagles. And all the lines, especially the man-made lines, are going to converge on that vanishing point, which allows you to do cool things like this, like buildings from above or buildings from below or a train going into the station. But today we're going to focus on a city, a couple of buildings, and maybe a sidewalk, and a couple of characters. So hopefully we won't have the time to do the one on the left, but we might get something kind of resembling the one on the right. Kind of. All right, so that's what we're going to do. Why are we doing this? Well, because in all comic books, come on, you can do it, Google Slide. We're so proud of you. See, okay, good. In all comic books, and even in movies and TV shows, there's a thing called an establishing shot. And the purpose of the establishing shot is to make you think that everybody is where the scene is taking place. If you watch the older Star Wars movies, they did this more because they didn't have the cool digital effects to do the backgrounds. What they would do, like in the Cloud City, they'd show a painting, and it is a painting. I know it doesn't look like a painting, but it's a painting of the Cloud City, and then they would superimpose all the people walking around the Cloud City, and then from that point in, they never have to show that outside shot of the city again, at least until Luke falls through that tunnel and ends up hanging off the bottom of the city. So the establishing shot shows all the cool detail, and then they do basically close-ups, or they do a hallway, or they never have to show it again. It does set the mood, because like here, happy, right? It looks joyous. It looks technologically advanced. You know you're in some maybe future world, or maybe even a different planet, because they're giants and whatever the heck that thing is. And wow, whatever those are. And we got robots. All right. This scene you could show as an opening scene, as an establishing shot. And from there on in, you could show two soldiers having a conversation. You already know it's probably not Earth, or if it's Earth in the far future, because there's this thing that is definitely not a horse. You know it's day. You don't have to draw any more trees if two people are talking. So you do close ups. Here, boom. You could show this city. This feels, I don't know, oddly like that Spider-Man thing where he drops her off in the little park on top of the building. But once you show that scene, you'd have two people sitting on a park bench talking. You don't have to continually draw the background. If you want to go for this beautiful, congested city and then show two people inside one of the buildings having lunch, there you go. You only have to draw that once. And this is kind of a fun picture because you have Doctor Who's TARDIS, you've got Doctor Who, there's Chewbacca, C3PO. There's a couple other weird place ones. I don't know if there's a Where's Waldo. There should be a Where's Waldo. Oh, there's Batman with a lightsaber. That's pretty tight. All right. Same thing here. Same thing here. You're set in a diner. You can do close-ups. You're set on a train. Or you have the coolest establishing shot ever, the Batcave, with the best Batmobile of all time. All right, cool. First of all, what I'm going to do is I am going to put a horizon line through the middle of my paper. So follow along with me. Draw this as I draw this. And then, like before, I know it's a little cheap, but I am going to draw a big head. And I'm not going to put much detail into this head or these shoulders. All right. But I'll do my 3/4 view. I'll curve. I got 1/4 here. Split it in half, right? Bring it down, split it in half. Then go halfway between the eyes and the chin is the nose. Halfway between the nose and the chin is the mouth. I might sketch up a couple of quick eyes. If you got a 3/4 view, that eye facing away is always going to be a little shorter. It should take up the edge. I'm not going to put a lot of detail into this yet. I'll do this more when I have to get caught up. But here's what I'm going to do. It's a little bit different with this guy. Since I threw his shoulder out here, I'm going to have another head peeking out from behind him like somebody has joined him. Get some of that overlapping on. So it feels like the two of these guys are walking through what will be my city. Now, the purpose of this is just to take up space. 1 point perspective is awesome and all, and you can use it very effectively, but you don't want to kind of overuse it unless you really just love doing 1 point perspective. And like I said, I kind of use it whenever I want to. So I'm going to give you guys like 2 minutes here just to kind of pencil out those heads, and then we're going to get cracking on the batis, or on the buildings. My bad. All right, cool. Now we get to do the buildings. Now this should be a little easier than all that stuff we did before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make maybe an 1.5 inch line over from the edge of the paper, and I am going to draw a rectangle. This is basically on the edge of the paper and is both above and below the horizon line. Now, just like when we did our shapes, this is a frontward facing plane. All right. So anything that I wanted to draw on here, like let's say I want to do some windows, I do those all normal, right? I draw the tops and the bottoms, like so. Sometimes it helps if I have a French accent when I draw the windows or the ventanas. Okay. And then all I got to do is make sure that my sides of the window are parallel with the building. Hopefully I'm doing this right. Sometimes if you don't get that overlap going. All right. So all I have here are like 6 squares, 6 rectangles. I can put drapes in there. Oh, that's lovely. I could put a person's silhouette in here if I wanted to. Looking out the window. Could be a little kitty silhouette down here. Wow. More drapes. Maybe the cat shredded the drapes on this side, because that's what cats do. Maybe this window's just closed. All right. Maybe at the bottom I'm going to draw a little trash can just for fun. Maybe Oscar the Grouch relocated. He was like, Sesame Street's a hard area to live in. People keep stealing my trash. All right. So I'll give you like a minute, work on that, or 2. Okay. So if you got the box and you got a couple of windows, you can always go back and finish them later. What we have to have in the middle of our horizon line here is a vantage point. But I'm going to cut it a little over. Since I took up so much room with these guys, I'm going to put maybe about 1 inch away from this guy's head, just to keep things tighter, And I'm going to draw a road. Well, actually, what I'm going to do, my bad, I'm jumping ahead of myself. I'm going to connect the bottom of this rectangle to that vanishing point. I'm going to connect the top of this rectangle to that vanishing point. All right. So just like when we did the squares in the other one, or the circles, or the triangles, or the rectangles, I'm just connecting the top 2 corners. I don't have to connect these because they'd go through my front plane. I don't want to mess up my front plane. All right. So here, cha-ching, and here. Now, here's the fun part. I'm going to split this into 2 buildings. So I'm going to put my ruler close to the vanishing point, but not, too close, about that far away. If I do that and erase my horizon line, it looks like one ginormous building, right? Like this takes up the entire block. It's kind of like a Meijer or a Super Walmart or something. But I'm going to make this 2 buildings. And here's the trick to making it 2 buildings. All I got to do is draw 2 lines kind of close to each other that will be the alley. So I go 1 line, 2 line, and then I erase that connection. Now, this looks like a building. This looks like a screen at the drive-in movie theater. It's got no thickness, right? Here's how I fix that. I put my ruler on the bottom corner and I draw inward. What? I know, right? Is that cool or what? And then I could take and I could shade that little strip so that it feels like it's going in, that it stands out more. All right. So I'll give you guys like a minute to mess around with that. And while you guys mess around with that, I'll do a little detail on my people here because I'm not sure. And you guys can do your detail on your people later. If you don't have to do what I'm doing on them. They're your folks. They're your outlines. They can become your creations. If you want to make Unicorn Man, you can make Unicorn Man. Why do they call Unicorn a unicorn? Why would they just call him Unihorn? There's one horn. What does corn have to do with anything? It's crazy. It was a poorly named creature. Oh my God, he's got no eyelashes. Now he's got some eyelashes. Wait. Now, I was about to turn him into Santa Claus, and it just dawned on me I'll lose all the space behind him. So now he just has a very unfortunate choice of a hat. Is that a flower pot? It might be a flower pot. Oh my God. How can you wear a flower pot on his head? Because I'm in a techno band. Working in a coal mine, going down, down. Whew, almost slipped down. All right, enough of that. Windows. We have to put windows on the plane facing the vanishing point. Now, I'm going to attempt to do this so I do not have to do more work. I'm also going to attempt to turn this so that you don't see my shadow across the lines I'm drawing. Do I still got it? I'm still in this frame? Okay. So there's my top window. As windows get further away, they get smaller. So my first line is going to be bigger. My second lines are going to be smaller. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. You will also notice, oddly enough, that because you are turning your ruler and also making sure that your vanishing point is connected when you do it, that the angle of these windows change. So I started off here, and every time I move it, I have to put my back on that vanishing point. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Now, I could have drawn those as lines just straight back. And if that's easier for you, so be it. Sometimes it's easier to do that than it is to go back and erase. Personally, I get tired of trying to erase in small areas. And if you look at my pencil, I don't have that much of an eraser left. So that's kind of why I did the choice I did. Now, all I have to do is put my ruler on here, make sure I'm parallel. with the edge of the building, and I can draw those lines. Now, if you wanted to do one big window on each level, that's fine. I varied it up where I did little windows and a big window. Um, Basically because I thought it was going to be really confusing if I just kept up with the little windows. But see, because I did this, I don't have to go back and erase in between as much. I'm probably going to have to at some point. There's a lot to be said for using measurements. Like right there. That was an oops. Oopses still happen. Or at least will continue to happen until we're all part of the singularity in 2040. Unless we've been in the singularity all along. Creepy. All right, so that's how I knocked out those windows. I'm going to do the same thing with the doors. It's going to be a lot easier because I just have to make the top of the door to the vanishing point and then throw in some parallels. All right. Now, I know we covered a lot really quick. As many windows as you want to put in those two areas, go ahead. If you want to put just 4 in each, put in 4. Just show me that you can get the tops and the bottoms going to that vanishing point. All right, and I'll give you 3 whole minutes on that one. Now, if you don't get done, you can always finish it up later and then email it to me. All right. I'm going to show you a couple real quick tricks because we're running out of time here. But we're going to throw down the city street. So, actually, before we do that, I'm going to show you a real quick way to show depth. Take a look at your 2 doors, right? Top line goes to the vanishing point. Bottom already does because I did the bottom of the buildings. But if I want those doors to look like they go in, I'm going to go to the bottom left corner of that door, and I'm going to put my ruler or my straight edge on it, and I'm going to pull a line like that. Whoa, I've created depth. I'm going to do the same thing over here to this far one. If I want to make it look more depth, I'm just going to shade it in like so. Oh yeah, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, pretty cool. If I was doing it up above the horizon line, I would have to do it to the top corner of a window, pull over, and then I could shade these in here. That's really just drawing through the vanishing point plane and basically showing another flat. So this actually becomes this area blocked by a vanishing point plane. You don't have to understand the geometry of it. You just have to be able to put your lines in the right place. Now, unfortunately, this guy's head didn't get anywhere, so I'll have to fix him later. But I'm going to draw the line from my street over there. I'm going to draw a line from the street over here. Now, I'm going to need an extra line on this part because I don't have any buildings. Hey, dog, what's up? Well, I can't play with you, baby. All right. I'm also going to draw a really thin line to make my curb, to give this some sort of thickness. All right. I can throw this, but that's about as far as I can do it right now. All right. Go get it. Okay, so if you've got those lines, wow, we got like a minute. Basically, I line up my ruler parallel to the horizon and I make the lines for the sidewalk squares. And as I get toward the bottom, I spread these lines out further so that they become bigger. All right. Because as they get closer to the horizon, they should be bigger. Now, I messed up here. I don't want to draw that line through my curb because I want to take and go straight down at my curb to make my curb look 3D. And that's about as far as we're going to be able to get today. So finish this up. I'm going to try to post this video as soon as I can, but I had to relearn a whole new video editing tool. So it might take me a little longer than normal. All right. Feel free to go. You know, class is over, right? At 11:25. But I am going to finish up the building on the left side of this. So I got to kind of leave the classroom open to continue recording. All right. So guys, have a good day. Stay out of trouble. If you can't stay out of trouble, don't get caught. And if you need to watch the rest of this video later, like I said, I should have it posted as soon as I sit through like another 2 hours of tutorials. All right. Peace out.
Bye.
All right. So in doing the fire building, here's what I'm going to do. This building is behind these two giant heads, which works to my total advantage because all I got to do is make this big rectangle. It's going to be a humongous building. Erase my horizon line. I've already got one I already got one vanishing point plane that makes the bottom of the building. I add in my next one. Boom, boom. And I've created the end of the building. All right. And then anything else that I need to add in there. All my windows. I'm going to do like humongous windows. I don't know why. Oh, I know why. Because I'm trying to get this to go quicker. Maybe that's not even a window. Maybe that's where people put their words, right? You know, you could break this space into sections. Boom, like so, like so, like so. And you could write the word shop. So maybe that's a store. Boom, 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 boom. All right, then you can draw whatever you want on this side. Okay. Finish this up when you get a chance. Put some details to your people. Make your people look cool. Maybe this guy has a flower pot for a head too. Don't know why. Are they not men? They are Devo. You can look that up. Look that up. Look up Devo on YouTube. My favorite song is Working in a Coal Mine. They didn't write it, but they did a very good version of it. All right. And that's about it for today. You could give yourself a cloud. Woo! Cloud if you want to. Setting sun. Clean up any of your drawing lines. And that's it. All righty. Hopefully, I will see you on Thursday. And hopefully, you'll stick around to do the work. Goodbye.